What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about E3, and this is not a good news story, okay? Not a good news story. E3 is considering putting parts of its digital E3 show behind a paywall, sources have told VGC. That's the big news story, kind of the entire day. This, for what I can tell, is not an April Fool's prank whatsoever. This is actually real, okay? There's been some pretty funny ones throughout the day today, but this one is absolutely real, and so it's not a prank. And when you read into this, basically what they're thinking about doing is charging around $35, and that would get basically kind of like I don't even know how you would want to describe it. It would get like bonus features. You'd be getting the bonus features of E3, be getting some like behind the scenes stuff. They would show demos at E3, like normal demos, and if you paid the $35, I believe they said you'd be able to play the demos at home. So it'd kind of be like what Jeff Keighley has done in the past, although without paying for it, what Steam has done in the past, although not paying for it, and that's what E3 would do. Now, I cannot think of, and this is the ESA. These are the people behind E3. Remember, these are the same people that accidentally, I guess, opened the floodgates and released all of this information by accident, right? Of hundreds, if not thousands, of press people that went to E3 over years past. Remember, this is the same, same genius group of intellectuals, basically. This is a bad idea. This just from the start is a horrible, horrible idea, and I've seen some people say, like, we shouldn't be getting mad at this, and that's just, in my opinion, one of the stupider things you can say. We have every right to stand up and say, no, we don't want this. In fact, part of this news story literally says from them, from the ESA, that these are all pitches. These are all things that they're thinking of, and if they get backlash from these ideas, they will drop them. So let's get loud. I mean, there's really, now again, no threats, no taking it over the line, no violence. Stay in the legal code of whatever country that you are living in. Okay, I've always said that, and I always will. All right, it's just a bad idea. $35 to now. I mean, there is value there. You'd be getting access, and you'd be playing things that people that do not pay would not be able to get. But the issue is this, part of this news story as well, and maybe this is like rumors or leaks, but what from I've seen on the internet is people have said that publishers, and maybe it's in this article, publishers have said that they will go, and I guess go as in digitally, they will do stuff for this E3. So it's not like it's going to be completely empty, okay? But what they also said in the exact same article is the biggest announcements from these publishers will not be at E3. They will be at their own events. So this is the death of E3. I can't say that I'm like upset about it, because I've told you guys for quite some time I'm not a fan of how E3 has gone. I'm not a fan of the what it is, and also just what it's become. It hasn't become a very good thing. And back when it was only journalists and only outlets that were allowed to go, and they opened it up to the public, but they've been losing money, or they haven't been making a lot of money. Let's just say that for a very long time. Basically E3. Okay, so this, to me, to say it's like the final nail in the coffin isn't even really fair, because I guess that already happened. Last year when they shut down and they didn't do it, that was the first big one. And now this year, they basically just flat out admitted. And when you pair these two things together, by the way, that's why I'm upset. That's why I'm angry. That's why I think you should be angry. That's why I think that we need to have our voices heard, because not only do they think that charging $35 is a good idea, because it's not, for, whatever they're going to end up giving you, E3 has become less important every single, statistically and factually, every single year, E3 has become less important. There's more publishers now than ever that have pulled out of E3, okay? It's never been more than this. So you have that, and then you have them flat out saying, I guess not them, but what people have heard is that, yeah, publishers are going to go. We'll see announcements. We'll see new stuff. We'll get demos, all that stuff. But the biggest things will not even be at E3. They'll be at their own events. So people, and by people I mean, I guess, the publishers and developers, they have flat out abandoned E3, which, again, I'm not sad about. I mean, it is the end of an era. I used to stay up, because I was in the Eastern Coast. I used to stay up, or Eastern Time, with my friend, and we would watch it every single year for about a good 4 or 5 years, and it became literally like a thing we were ready for. Even when we were older teenagers, when we were both working, we would take off of work, that we would make sure, I guess, that they didn't put us on on like the next day, right? I used to work at Home Depot, so I'd be like, don't put me the next day because I'm going to be staying up all night, going to be watching, going to be covering it, going to be making the videos. I mean, I can't lie and say that it wasn't exciting times. I loved doing it, and I used to cover E3 back in the day, back 4 or 5 years ago, when we had 0 people watching us. 0. Absolutely 0. And when I had more people on the channel. And so I did it back then. It's always going to hold a special place in my heart, but it's not it's not that anymore. And even back then, I mean, in reality, there were weaknesses that I just couldn't kind of focus on because I was maybe a little too young. But this is for the best. Please, for the love of God, don't spend the $35. I don't think it'll make it that far. I really hope that they would just cancel that. Just say, okay, that was a bad idea. We're not going to do it. Again, it's not like you're not getting value for it, but you're not really getting all that much value for it. I guess it's kind of up to you how much you value $35. And then, secondly, when you have people admitting that there's not even going to be big things at E3, you're paying for what you would expect to be a good amount of stuff, and then there's not even going to be big stuff there in the first place, and that's like the free stuff. Like, they have to show stuff to get people to watch, because if nobody watches and nobody covers it, well, that's even worse, right? So you need stuff there. They're not going to put, I would imagine, all that much behind a paywall because they need more people watching, especially if people don't support the paywall. I'm trying to say the letter P as much as humanly possible, right? So, bad idea. Funny April Fool's joke, even though it's not, so I guess that was kind of a mistake that they did that today. But let me know, guys, in the comments below, what do you think? Would you pay $35? Do you think this is a good idea? Let me know in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed here. Bell icon turn on. If you guys want to subscribe to my second channel, Podcast Now Plus is its name. Link for that is always in the description below. Would love to have you guys subscribed over there as well. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.